Stonehenge, to some people, is just a pile of very big stones. To others, it's one of the wonders of the world. How these stones got here, apparently from Wales, has yet to be fully explained. Anyway, I'm not here to explain or see the wonders of this wonderful place in the middle of Wiltshire on Salisbury Plain. We're just going up the road, in fact, to a village called Shrewton, historic stables. A man called Richmond Sturdy trained there not that long ago. At the beginning of the 20th century, a fantastic filly called Scepter was trained there. She won 4 classics in one season. The man who trains there now, a very interesting man with a scientific background, hence you see the connection, is Dr. Jeremy Naylor. Jeremy Naylor's qualifications are impressive. After graduating from veterinary school at the University of Bristol, he spent time in America gaining advanced training in equine exercise physiology. Back in Britain, he completed his PhD at Bristol before spending a couple of seasons with Martin Pipe. Jeremy now trains at Cleve Stables on Salisbury Plain.
So this is the first canter up, just a warm-up basically, and we've jumped off 21, 22 miles an hour and the target speed is just 25 here. So, trainer's getting old. We're going to hack back down in a second and then come up again, slightly stronger. That was fundamentally our warm-up canter, about 25 miles an hour, and we're going to come up this time about 30. These are jump horses. It's only the middle of August. They come back into work and they're just gradually building up their work, and so this is their second today and they're up to doing about 29-30 miles an hour for this second canter.
But how exactly does Jeremy Naylor put science into practice in the world of racehorse training?
Okay, so what are we trying to do with these? We're trying to measure speed and work rate, as we do measuring heart rate. We're using heart rate as a measure of work rate. First, I hope this shows on the footage. Oops, excuse me. This is just a simple trace to start with of speed. This is the horse starting at the bottom of the gallop, increasing its speed to here about 25 miles, a nice even canter over 6 furlongs, and then pulling up at the end to a walk here at about 4 miles an hour. Horse walks around for a little while at the top of the gallop, turns round, hack canters back down 15 miles an hour, nice and even. Comes back down, walks around at the bottom of the gallop, second canter up, you can see here, peaks at about 33 there, drops down and then evens out at about 32 to 31 miles an hour, pulls up at the top. So there I have a very simple representation of exactly what that horse has done in its exercise. Not only that, but it actually shows on a little map here. There's a little map there, plotted from the GPS, of where the horse has been. Unfortunately for the poor old staff, it's the spy in the sky, because if the trainer's away, you can see exactly where the horses have been, what time they've done it, and how fast.
And what do you get out of all this in the end? I mean,
that's an objective record
of
what work the horse has done.
Right.
And as we were saying before, it allows us to grade the work the horse is doing. Before, the horse, instead of doing a 32 the second canter, it may have only been doing a 29. So we can grade the work. The first canter is basically a warm-up period of about 25, hacking it down to get to the bottom of the gallop, and then the second canter up. And as the work increases through the weeks, we can gradually step that up. So we're just over-facing them little by little and gradually pushing the bounds. Now, let me just add in here something else. This is a speed trace, but also showing the heart rate response of the horse. So this is slightly different here. This is going on the bottom of the gallop. This is trotting up. We always trot the horses a certain way to loosen them up. Trotting up at about sort of 11, 12 miles an hour. And here a heart rate of, say, about 120 or so. This is walking. In this case, at the bottom of the straight of our gallop. And there's jumping off, going along about 25 miles an hour and just gradually picking up to 29 to the top. And this is that. You can see it follows quite closely that speed. And that's because as the speed increases, the heart rate increases, because it's a record of the work rate. And we can see it starts off here at about 175, 180 and gradually picks up to about 190 there. From our riding out, a simple unit on our wrist, we can ride to good instructions, we can see how the horse has performed, then afterwards this is just a question of plugging the unit in the back of the computer, pressing a button, and that information
it's all fed in.
appears straight like that.
Magic.
All you need to do is put the horse's name in there, and then it records it against the time and the date.
And you can compare different
Exactly.
days.
Yeah, and then there's another bit of software that you can import it into. I don't know if you can see this very well.
There's a satellite picture.
But this is
here.
actually a satellite picture of our gallops. You can see this is heart rate here, and we can see at every stage along there on a nice map. This is great for the owners because they can see where the horse is exercised, because the map is shown on the other one.
Yeah.
But just as a representation. And here's just where the horse has been. So our gallops, there's a straight mile, then extends to this loop at the top, and our all-weather's at one side.
Amazing. Cleve Stables was once the home of the great racehorse Scepter. She remains the only horse to have won 4 of the 5 classics.
This is probably our most prized possession. It's a painting of Scepter from 1903, painted by John Beer. And that's her, obviously, in a box. It's quite an attractive one of her, because some of her photographs make her look a bit plain.
So we've got a winning, just so we've got to see a winning of 2,000 guineas there.
2000. The Oaks.
Winning the Oaks. The St Ledger.
Ledger. This was the year later, the Hardwick Stakes. In a stormy day, you can see her colours have changed,
Yeah.
I think, from there to there.
The Jockey Club Stakes, the Duke of York Stakes, the Eclipse, and she was most remarkable.
But she was beaten there by, I think that was Ard Patrick.